It's like 1,000 degrees out and I do not care because I'm going to wear flannels. It's comfy, it's cozy, it's fall. Hey YouTube, let's talk about the midpoint, the things that scare us about them, why I kind of hate them, about the struggle of a halfway point, a midway point, and all of those things that kind of come up. Because you're supposed to, love the journey, love the small steps, all of that greatness, and that's not always the case, right? Like, I definitely have struggled with a lot of midpoints, especially the midpoint of this year. Oh my god, like, it was like, it hit July and I was just like, if you were aware of any of my other videos on my channel, I wanted to wallow, I wanted to not do anything, I felt no motivation, I felt nothing, I didn't know really what I wanted to do, and it was just, a lot of it came from the frustration of that midpoint. I have a lot of goals I was trying to meet, I had a lot of things that I was kind of upheaving my life in the beginning of this year, and that was something where it was like, hey, I saw a lot of progress, but not necessarily as much progress as I wanted. I was hoping to get a lot further in certain things, right? So when I started this year, I realized I need to upheave a lot of parts of my life because of witchcraft had opened my eyes to, hey, why are you settling in a lot of these aspects? Why are you not going after the things you really want with vigor, and aren't you willing to sacrifice the things that aren't that useful to you for now, and then you can have more comfort and stuff later if you obtain things that really work well for you. And one of those things was financial goals and like sacrificing certain things I'm spending money on, and sacrificing, you know, maybe old mindsets that I used to have, and really looking into, okay, well, if that's the case, what can I do to get further in that? So I moved out of my apartment, I moved back in with my parents. I put more money towards classes and lessons and things in witchcraft, and stopped spending money on more shallow things that I didn't really get all that much enjoyment out of. You know, stop buying coffee out all the time. Made sure I have my own coffee at home. That's good. As opposed to, you know, constantly eating out and going and hanging out with people and spending a bunch of money with people I really didn't like or enjoy their company. Don't go out and spend money with people just to be social. Like, there's a lot of stuff like that I just kind of curated and changed in my life. Working on cooking at home so I could like eat healthier, but also save money. Again, not eating out all the time. All these things. And then July hits and I took a trip to the Pacific Northwest. I'm hoping to move there somehow soon. We shall see, we shall see. But oh my goodness, the drag that hit afterwards, where you get like a taste of the thing you want, but you can't, like, it's like, oh, it's right in reach, it's right there, but I can't grasp it, I can't wrap my fingers around it quite yet, and it's so frustrating. And you hit that point, you're just like, I have worked so hard, I have paid off so much of my debt. I started this year with $11,000 in debt, and that is just with credit cards and car payments and all of that. I now have paid off my car in full, which is fantastic. I have paid off all of my credit cards, so like $11,000 of debt in 6 months gone, which is, that's fantastic, right? Like, that's not, it seems like it should be a bigger celebratory thing than it felt like for me, right? Like, it felt like I still had so much more to go because, yeah, okay, cool, I don't have that much debt anymore, but I still had no money saved up. There's a lot of things that I didn't have. So that was cool, but like, now I'm still living in my parents' house. I'm, you know, still working at the same job without much of any raises coming my way soon. So there's no way for me to make money that way to help improve my situation. And so I had to still work on, you know, gaining more skills to improve my resume. I still had to work hard on not spending money, because now it's, instead of focused on paying off debt, I have to focus on saving money and like making sure I have certain things all put up. You know, I barely made any strides in my health. I had made a few where I was like, hey, I was definitely being more active. I'm aware of the fact when I'm being too sedentary. I'm being aware of the fact when I am overeating way too much junk food instead of eating healthy food. And the frustration of, hey, I've made so many changes and I haven't really had that much of a reward for it yet, right? So I had to put baby steps in for myself. One of the baby steps for me was getting a tattoo I really wanted when I paid off all the debt that I did. I was like, hey, you paid off $11,000, so you get to spend $200 on a tattoo. Like, that's what you get to do. Great, good for you. And taking time to rearrange my room and, you know, allow for more time at my altar and allow for more time like now that I have paid off so much debt, I'm taking more witchy classes again. I'm, you know, I took an astrology 101 course. I'm hoping to also take a tarot course soon to see what other things I could be missing. I pretty much have self-taught with tarot, but I really want to see what other people's opinions on it on a tarot course. I'm also taking, I paid for Kellyanne Maddox's extra package for Self-Love September, which I was excited about because I'm like, hey, this is all growth, this is good, but hey, splurge that money, spend it. It's good for you to spend that money now that you've accomplished this big thing. So it's like, so I'm taking small little steps, but it's not the big goals, right? It's not the finish line. And I think we get so obsessed at times with the finish line, and we should appreciate the journey. But sometimes the journey sucks. You know, it sucks that I don't get to spend money on things that I really, as frivolously as I used to. Like, it sucks I have to be, like, I can't go out to a nice coffee shop and have their fancy raspberry lattes all the time, because I really, really enjoyed them, and they were something in my life that I got to, you know, take a minute and go, you know what, I get my fancy $5 coffee once a day, and that's fun. But $5 coffees every day really add up, and it's not, is that more important than me moving to a new city that will really fulfill me and give me great things in life? No, it's not. The $5 coffee is not more important than that. So I still don't get to have my $5 coffee as much as I want. I still don't get to go out even with friends I really enjoy as much, because I know I'll be spending too much money and I can't afford to do that. I don't get to eat as much of the good, savory comfort foods when I'm stressed out about money as much, because I'm worried about my health. I'm trying to improve it. I'm trying to get into a more healthy, better mindset, so I have a better life long term with health and everything too, right? And God, that struggle of a midpoint, it sucks. It sucks because you're like, hey, I've made these strides. I feel like I should have a bigger reward. It's not in my hands yet, and it sucks sometimes. When you're still struggling, when you're like, yeah, I made accomplishments, but I'm not there yet. Yeah, I made baby steps. And everyone's like, look at your progress though. Look how far you've come. Yeah, I came far, but look how far I still have to freaking go. It's so far. And part of that frustration too comes with witchcraft, right? Like, I've done spells that have worked really freaking well, and then I've done spells that have not, that have failed, and that sucks. It's like, ugh. And even though it's a constant journey, like, witchcraft doesn't give me that same stress, right? Because there's no actual endpoint in the distance. It's not like, and then I will be the highest of witches, and I will know all of the occult information, and I will have all this power, and I can do anything I want. It's like, that's not actually a thing that exists. It's a constant journey. So that's down the line, it's great, but sometimes I get frustrated where I'm like, why don't I know tarot better still yet? Why are there still certain, like, cards in the goddamn cups family that I can't remember, like, what does a 4 of cups mean versus the 6 of cups? Like, I get their meanings confused sometimes. I have to go back and look at the book still, and I'm like, how am I still looking at the book when I've been looking at the stuff on again, off again for several years, and this year have dove into it more? I get frustrated with myself when a spell still doesn't go right after a year of doing different spells and things, and I don't see the results I want as quickly as I want from it. I get irritated when I make a tincture still, and I'm like trying to like do my own little infused oil thing, and it turns out sour and gross again because I didn't do it right again. And it's frustrating, right? Because you're like, hey, no, time-wise, I should be at that point. But just because it's a marker in time doesn't mean that it's a marker in skill level or a marker in, you know, some things just take longer pieces of time to accomplish. And knowing that you have to work not even as hard as you've been working, but maybe harder to hit the next level, that you have to keep up when you're already exhausted and you're already tired and you're already struggling to get through stuff. To like make that one decision to have a salad every day instead of a cheeseburger when you really freaking want the cheeseburger. Like, it's hard. It's hard to always keep with the midpoint. So yeah, this is kind of the struggle I'm going through at the moment, where I'm making strides, and that's great, but still it's not there yet. And knowing that it's okay to struggle, to take more joy in the journey, because life itself is a journey. And even if I know that end goal will be freaking great and sweet, that it can't be everything, and I can't focus all my stuff on it, and I can't judge my self-worth based on how far I have come on my own goals. So I make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Comment down below, how do you feel about midpoints? Do they drive you crazy? Are you struggling through some of that yourself? Or you're like, I'm not at my goal yet. Struggling? Are you at the beginning of a journey and you're struggling? Are you near the end of your journey and you're still struggling? Or you got the thing and you're like, you know what, that wasn't as great as it should have been. All of that down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.